There is a quiet message reaching you today. Soft, gentle, but impossible to ignore once you truly hear it. Before you spend another moment trying to shift someone else's feelings, before you step into calm fix or carry what does not belong to you, pause, just for a moment. Notice what happens inside you when you do that. Notice how your own energy changes when your attention constantly moves outward, toward other people's worries, their frustrations, their expectations, their unspoken demands. You may not have realized it at first, but over time, something within you has been quietly stretching too thin. You have been taking in more than you were ever meant to hold. Their stress became something you tried to solve. Their emotions became something you felt responsible for. Their reactions became something you tried to anticipate and manage. And in doing so, you slowly drifted away from yourself. Not all at once, not in a dramatic way, but gradually like a dimming light that you didn't notice fading. Somewhere along the way, you stopped asking, "How do I feel right now?" You stopped honoring your own emotional signals. You started prioritizing harmony outside over truth inside. And in that quiet disconnection, your strength went still. Not gone, never gone, but resting, waiting. Because the truth is this: you were never designed to carry the emotional weight of everyone around you. You are not here to regulate every room. You are not here to absorb every storm. You are not here to sacrifice your inner peace just to keep others comfortable. You are here for something far more sacred. You are here to be in tune with yourself, to listen inward before you respond outward, to recognize what drains you and what restores you. To choose alignment over approval, even when that choice feels unfamiliar at first. There is nothing selfish about caring for your own emotional state. In fact, it is one of the most honest, powerful things you can do. Because when you abandon yourself, even with good intentions, you lose access to your clarity. Your energy becomes scattered. Your decisions become reactive instead of grounded. But when you return to yourself, when you begin to notice your feelings without judgment, when you allow your needs to matter, you begin to reclaim something essential, your center. And from that place, everything changes. So today, instead of immediately stepping into someone else's emotional world, try something different. Pause and check in with your own. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? What feels supportive to me? What would bring me even a small sense of ease? It might be something simple, a few moments of silence, a breath taken slowly and fully, a decision not to engage in something that feels heavy. It might even mean choosing distance, not out of rejection, but out of self-respect. And that is okay. You are allowed to choose what feels lighter. You are allowed to move toward what brings you a sense of calm, even if others don't fully understand it. You are allowed to protect your peace without explaining it to everyone, because your inner state matters more than you've been taught to believe. When you begin to prioritize it, not in a rushed or forceful way, but gently, consistently, you'll notice a shift. At first, it might feel unfamiliar. You might question it. You might feel the pull to go back to old patterns of overgiving, overthinking, overextending. But stay with yourself. Keep returning inward. Because the more you honor your own emotional space, the more stable you become within it. And from that stability, something powerful unfolds. You no longer feel the need to fix everything. You no longer feel responsible for everyone's reactions. You no longer carry what was never yours. Instead, you begin to respond to life with clarity, with calm, with intention. And this doesn't disconnect you from others. It actually allows you to show up in a more authentic way. Because now you are not giving from depletion. You are giving from wholeness. There is a difference. When your energy is protected, your presence becomes stronger. Your words become more meaningful. Your actions become more aligned. You don't have to try so hard anymore. Things begin to flow. Conversations feel lighter. Decisions feel clearer. Your mind feels less crowded. And within that space, you start to remember something important. Life is not meant to feel like constant emotional labor. It is meant to feel expansive. There is meant to be joy. There is meant to be ease. There is meant to be a sense of quiet fulfillment that doesn't depend on everything outside of you being perfect. But you can only access that when you stop abandoning yourself, when you stop placing everyone else's inner world ahead of your own, when you recognize that your energy is not an unlimited resource to be spent without awareness, it is something to be respected, protected, honored. So today, give yourself permission to shift your focus, not in a harsh or dramatic way, but gently. Each time you feel yourself getting pulled into someone else's emotional current, pause, breathe, return to yourself. You don't have to shut others out. You don't have to stop caring. But you do need to care about yourself too. In fact, that is where everything begins. Because when you take responsibility for your own energy first, something begins to align naturally. You don't have to force it. You don't have to chase it. It happens as a result of you being in integrity with yourself. And in that alignment, you start to feel different. Lighter, clearer, more grounded. You begin to notice moments of peace that weren't there before. Small moments, perhaps, but real. And those moments begin to grow because you are no longer feeding chaos with your energy. You are no longer reinforcing patterns that drain you. You are choosing something else, something quieter but far more powerful. You are choosing yourself, and from that choice, a new experience of life begins to unfold. One where you are not constantly overwhelmed. One where your emotional state is not dictated by everyone around you. One where you can move through your days with a sense of steadiness and calm. And perhaps most importantly, you begin to feel a sense of fulfillment that doesn't come from fixing everything or everyone, but from simply being in alignment with who you truly are. That life, the one that feels balanced, peaceful, and quietly joyful, has always been available to you. It was never something you had to earn by overextending yourself. It was never something you had to reach by carrying more than your share. It has always existed within your ability to choose yourself, again and again, in small moments, in subtle decisions, in quiet shifts of awareness. So let today be one of those moments. A moment where you stop reaching outward for a while and gently return inward. A moment where you release what isn't yours to carry and reconnect with what is. A moment where you remember that your peace is not something to be sacrificed. It is something to be protected. And as you do that, even in the smallest way, you will begin to feel it. That sense of alignment, that quiet clarity, that soft but steady return to yourself. And from there, everything else begins to fall into place. Not all at once, not perfectly, but naturally. And in that natural unfolding, you will find something you may not have realized you were missing. A deeper sense of ease, a more authentic kind of happiness, a life that feels less like effort and more like flow, all because you chose finally to honor the one place where your true power lives, within you.